Greetings! Welcome aboard, guys. Heavy Metal Truckers here. So, in these videos, we tend to take a listen to some metal, and we get some thoughts on it. It could be simple, or it could be quite in depth. And the funny thing about all that is, we're not even doing that today. We're going to be, instead, giving our review on August Burns Red latest album, whatever it was. Let the review commence.
Can't remember that. It wasn't like something surrender. I don't know.
Oh, Seasons of Surrender or something.
There you go, Seasons of Surrender. I had surrender in it somewhere. So when did I first hear about these guys? For me, compared to a lot of the bands on here, this one was more recent. I want to say it was 2018.
Dang.
One of my coworkers said you should check them out. Okay, so when I got home that day, I brought it up on pulled up a YouTube video and listened to it. Listened to one song, and it was like, nah, it's not really for me. Not really my thing. So that was about all the experience I had going into into this album with him.
Oh, it sounds like a shitload of experience. So we'll believe everything you say.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I actually enjoyed this album a little bit more than I did the Amity Affliction one. There was a couple of reasons for that. Number one, you didn't have the annoying punk vocals over a metal song that felt like they clashed to me. And there were times in some of these songs where they would have a very melodic style guitar riff, almost.
They are known for that.
Yeah. Almost like In Flames style, or even almost on the verge of power metal style guitar. So that made it, a better listening for me than say the Amity one was. Now, that being said, I wouldn't say I love this album because the overall gist of the music still really isn't my thing. But I didn't hate it. I would listen to this album again if before I would listen. The vocals were decent. Like I said, I really liked the melodic guitars because it added some depth to the music that a lot within this style misses. So I enjoyed that. What else? I wouldn't say there was. Well, no, there was one song that stood out to me a little bit that I enjoyed more than the rest. Not since I'm currently driving, I can't look at the set list, so I couldn't tell you which one it was.
You're fine.
Not the set list, the track list.
Close enough.
Yeah. And then there was, I want to say, two others that were all right, and then the rest of it was just eh. But for what it was and what it is, it was decent. So for me, I actually gave this album a 3 out of 5.
Whoa! For Doppler, that's saying something. God
Consider
damn.
the genre. Yeah.
Considering it's metalcore, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not a metalcore guy. Like I said, I still wouldn't say I'd love it. It's not an album I would go buy.
No,
but I didn't hate it. Like, there was definitely elements of it that I did like.
Surprised you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And for you, Frosty?
It was either 2008 or 2009 when I was first introduced to August Burns Red. Could not tell you.
I'm about to tell you
what the first song was that I was introduced to them by. And I don't know if Pincushion was the first person to show me them or somebody else.
How dare you?
I do have other people who show me music, sir.
Fine. No, it's probably 09. Because that's whenever Constellations came out.
09, I know is that album, but the thing is like I think that some of the guys in band were the ones who actually first showed me August Burns Red.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think. So I want to say it was in 2008 that I was first introduced to them. But like when I first really kind of started to listen to them was 2009 with their album Constellation. Absolutely love that album. Still do to this day.
It's still a killer album, I'm not gonna even lie.
Absolutely. And then I remember you showing me, you, we're gonna date ourselves here. You burned a disc
Oh my god.
with their live stuff.
Did I?
You did an entire live album. You burned the disc for me, and I would listen to that disc a lot. It had Meddler on it. It had, I think,
God,
Mariana Trench might have been
so
on it.
fucking long.
Yeah, it was quite a while ago.
Shut up, because you're now that I think about it, it's getting near 20 years. I don't want to think about that.
It feels weird saying anything that happened in the 2000s as being a long time ago.
Absolutely.
Just to me, it honestly doesn't feel that long ago.
No, it doesn't. Feels like maybe
No, it really
about.
doesn't.
It only feels like maybe a decade ago at best.
Yeah, not 2 or 2.5.
Pretty much. So yeah, no, I mean that, and then I think you were the one who also showed me their musical album or Christmas album.
It was
As
the
well.
it wasn't necessarily their holiday album. They were in a holiday album.
They were, that's right, they were in a Happy Christmas album or something like that, and they had
Carol of the Bells, their variation of it.
Yep. And fun little fact about August Burns Red, if anybody likes American Dad, their Christmas song, the Carol of the Bells, plays in an episode of American Dad.
I may or may not find a clip.
It's it's where Santa wants to kill the Smiths, that episode. I think it's like season 6 or season 7, somewhere around there. But anyway, to this day, by far my favorite album was Constellations. Favorite rendition of Carol of the Bells is by August Burns Red. So yeah. Getting into the album, I didn't know what to expect, only because I have like followed them very little, but periodically through the years. So I've listened to some of their newer stuff. Still not as amazing as Constellations, but I don't really think anything's gonna beat that at this point.
Messengers was actually pretty good. It was
Messengers was, but it was.
I still
think Constellations beats it
out
out.
to Constellations.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. So got to the album, and I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes. Let's see. I know I've heard some of their newer stuff. I've definitely heard some of their older stuff. So I'm curious to see kind of what track we're on here, or what path we're on. Absolutely enjoyed the album. All the melodic guitar riffs. Their vocals usually come off pretty nicely to me. I mean, it felt like back in the day listening to Constellations, except again, Constellations is still going to be the top album to beat by them. So it hasn't been with this album, but it kind of felt like we were getting back to roots almost. I don't remember what my favorite track on the album was, but I enjoyed most of this album anyway. I really don't know what else I could say on the album. I mean, the vocals, absolutely tremendous as usual. The melodic guitar riffs, absolutely enjoy it. I'm the metalcore guy of the group, so of course this speaks right to me compared to these two. So it's not gonna irritate me nearly as much as like either of these two. I do feel like Pincushion might have an appreciation of it a little bit more, just because it's August Burns Red, and that's one of the groups that we kind of were.
We bonded over quite well in the early years of.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I don't really know what else I could say about the album. Rating, solid 4. If
What was your rating?
If Pincushion would give me, maybe a little bit more time,
fucking minute
to hear what my rating was.
Yeah, he talked over you.
I'm aware. So anyway, my rating on this was a solid 4.
Nice.
Absolutely enjoyed it. Absolutely. I didn't go back and listen to this album as much as I did the Amity Affliction album, but that's also because I really, really enjoy Amity Affliction. So
That's fair enough.
that's why this one's got a little bit of a lower score. I did end up going back to re-listen to this just because I didn't procrastinate this week.
Yeah, I know.
Day
That's a
one.
shocker.
I think
Okay,
I listened to both albums before the both of you
so
You did.
not entirely true.
because I had them complete. I had them both done
Well,
Sunday morning.
he had them both done before we had them both done.
Fair. So typically we do our filming on Friday evenings, and by Monday, whenever I called this sumbitch, he just goes, so I did my homework, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it just dawned on me. I'm like, you did not. And he goes, yep, I finished both albums. And I'm like, whoa, both? Holy shit.
He hung up the call because he thought he was in an alternate dimension talking to my evil twin.
I did hang up on him.
Yeah, he told me.
He was like, "This is not the right guy. Let me go ahead and call the other one."
And I immediately hung up on him. But
But yeah, so I did go back and re-listen to the album just so I can have it refreshed in my memory again. But yeah, no, absolutely enjoy the album. Solid 4.
so my history with August Burns Red would roughly be around the same time. I couldn't tell you precisely how it went.
See, not even you could tell precise.
Well, because I can give a rough estimate because I don't know exactly who it was that introduced me. If I came across them or someone pulled it up to me, I can remember. What I do know, I think our old buddy back in the day may have introduced me, or someone within that group introduced me, and it was.
I believe I know which one probably introduced you.
But I remember checking out the album, and the one track that I kept on going the fuck back to every single time was Whitewashed. Just
Favorite song on that album by
Yes.
far. Absolutely
Yes.
love it.
absolutely.
The intro is so solid.
It is one of the best build-ups within metalcore of that day. It is just so gradual and then fucking kidney punches you. But
And then the guitar riff along with the drum. So,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that beautiful
Yeah.
build up. But so I loved Constellations, and then what got me onto just a constant repeat was the Holiday album where they included that, and I just, especially back in the day, absolutely loved that. But yeah, after then, like Messengers had come out, listen to that, I did enjoy it, and then somewhere along the way, it kind of died off from them because I ventured into the more, not even black metal at the time, it was more death metal, or death, maybe along the lines of deathcore, that went that direction. I know I mainly went within the death metal subgenre. So yeah, really haven't given metal any August Burns Red even like the slightest touch a day, really. Until like this album came out, and I'm like, oh, this was an old group that we used to enjoy. Let's give it a go. So I went in this extremely skeptical because I know how modern production is and modern changes people do these days, especially within metalcore. So I was extremely skeptical, but tried to have an open mind. And immediately I'm like, wow, they haven't changed a bit, not in a bad way. Instrumentally, it reminded me of why I enjoyed August Burns Red back in the day, because it was, even though yes it is metalcore, they have such a simple and solid rhythm, and they're not trying to do anything crazy fancy, and they have such, I can't remember the fucking guitarist's name, but he has the slightest nuance of melody within his stuff that actually goes along with the rhythm and doesn't make it feel so goddamn flashy and makes it feel like part of the rhythm. And that's what I greatly enjoyed. And he was also very good at making it almost not really melancholic, but it was more just having the minor chord progression within what he did, which I think is part of the reason I really enjoyed August Burns Red back in the day. But yeah, so getting to hear that, I'm like, oh dear God, it's been years. And then Vocally came on, and I'm like, is this the same guy, or did they get a new vocalist? Because he almost sounded like slightly higher pitched than I had remembered. And I just kept listening, and then I realized that there was some, like, not necessarily collaborations, but there were some guests that were part of it, and I couldn't tell what was him and what was a guest. And
yeah, I do know a couple of the groups that they collab with on this album, and funnily enough, so like I'm not one of those who like wants a lot of collabs on an album, but this one I actually really enjoyed a lot of the collabs within this album.
yeah. But I do remember looking it up later, and yeah, it's the same fucking dude. It's the same dude since almost the beginning. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just been that long. First half of the album was just very much nostalgia for me, and it was the only metalcore I've been able to handle in the past probably 10 to 15 years. And then the second half of the album, that's where it started to feel a little bit more modern in aspects, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but didn't hate it. So by the end of this album, I was thinking that, wow, a metalcore group didn't screw things up for me. That's pretty rare these days. I don't recall if I listened to it again. I really don't, unfortunately. I think I ended up going to the next album we're reviewing. But, I mean, for what I was listening to, I mean, it had a production on it was solid. Don't know how many fucking drums were replaced, or they were, at minimum, very heavily sample augmented, very heavy. But either that or the engineer was just that fucking good. But I could hear there was a lot of like drum hits that were a little too consistent for it to be naturally done, unless they went back in and just redid everything just to make it as best production as they could. Which I hate when people do that, to be honest. Which I know Chris Adler did that on one of their records because he wanted to get the best playing, and to some extent I respect and admire that, but I just really enjoy when a group just goes as is and just gives their best performance almost in one go unless someone messes up, and then I can understand that fact. But trying to do it for the sake of tightness, I'm not a big fan of. But all that being said, this was a phenomenal album for what it was. It gave back some nostalgia. I don't see myself buying this record, but I would absolutely hit replay, and hell, it may cause me to want to buy it. I really don't know. But my rating for this was absolutely 3.5. Like, for metalcore, this was, especially in this day and age, it was fucking solid. Just vocals were done very well. Guitars were done very well. Bass was just as good as they had always been. And drums were just bloody on point. So, well done, guys. Just well done. I might have to actually go back and... So, funny enough, actually, speaking on what Frosty had mentioned, I actually saw or had read where the vocalist had said, this is one of course they'd say this every fucking record, but it's like, we wanted to go back to being heavy, and this is our heaviest album to date. And I'm like, how many times I've heard that is unreal. But if that is the case, then they definitely went back, because I don't know what the fuck they've done since before this, since between Messengers and now, but I don't know what they did. And if he's saying that, I'm not sure I want to know.
This one feels a lot more like their older stuff than some of the other stuff I heard from them.
And so, for that matter, I'm probably not going to go back and listen to the more recent material besides this album. But yeah, 3.5. So solidly done, guys. But that'd be all. Until then, until next time, whether musically, lyrically, or literally, keep rolling heavy.